What's up, everybody? I'm here at the Dune Awakening booth. I'm with Nils and Ole. We're here to talk about the new stuff that is coming with Chapter 2 and the Lost Harvest DLC. You know that there are some players, some hardcore players, who are, they got some issues with the endgame. They want more stuff to do. They want to keep busy. What in the new content do you think is going to keep, really enthusiastic players going?
It's a good question. We recently released a blog post about this topic, and we did make it clear that the Chapter 2, which we're announcing now and releasing on September 10th, is mainly going to be focusing on the continuation of the storyline. It's going to have a lot of new content for the people who are kind of done with that part of the game. And then for Chapter 3, which is coming in January next year, that's when we're kind of revamping the endgame, which is the thing that a lot of people are waiting for. But there will be some bits and pieces coming before that time as well that will address some of these situations. But yeah, I think what we've seen is that we have a really, really good game for the first few hundred hours of the game. I think it's really solid. We see that. But then, yeah, we need to bring the rest of the game now up into the same level, basically.
I mean, yeah, TLDR, you're working on it.
TLDR, we're working on it.
I feel like if you get a few hundred hours of gameplay out of something, that could be worse,
It could be worse.
Let's talk about the dynamic encounters that you've got in the deep desert.
Sure. For dynamic encounters, we're introducing new characters you'll be able to find out not only the deep desert, but also in the Haga Basin. So we're introducing a chunk of new kind of smaller storylines, so you'll be able to find them out about in the desert. You'll be able to find new characters who have their own circumstances going on, so to speak, that you can interact with. We've got some repeatable content going on there. Social hubs, we've got some new characters coming in. Along with that, some of that will lead you to new features and mechanics you haven't had before. For instance, the recustomizer. So we're introducing the ability for you to change what you look like. We're introducing some new hairstyles, tattoos, things for you to kind of spice up your character a bit. But to unlock it, you need to meet a couple of new characters, get them on your side, and we're introducing some unique lore people there as well. So people who are really into the books will find something really fun in Harco that I think they'll enjoy.
Nice. And you got a new vehicle, the treadwheel.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about what advantages it has over the other vehicles people are more familiar with?
I mean, it just is a ton of fun to drive. That's the main thing when I drive that vehicle. It's just awesome to drive. I think one of my favorite things about that vehicle is that it essentially drives backwards pretty much as fast, or almost as fast as going forward. And then you have the passenger seat on the back. So there's some cool things you can do with that, because the turn angle when turning is also quite tight. So you can do some really cool maneuvering. I would say the skill ceiling for it might be a little bit higher, but there's some really cool maneuvering you can do with it. So that's the cool new thing with that vehicle, I would say. And it's got a whole new progression tier system as well for that one.
People have compared it to Axel from Twisted Metal, General Grievous's wheel bike, and that gyroscope thing that Mr. Garrison invents in South Park. What did you look to for inspiration for this vehicle?
I wouldn't say it was the South Park part of it, but no, I mean, these are actual real vehicles from back in the, 1930s. There were people who were building these. So it's not a new concept in terms of this type of build of vehicle. It's got some cool visual style to it that we really liked, that we really enjoyed. It had this maneuverability that we really wanted to add to the ground vehicles as well. So I would say that mostly. And then there's some real world inspiration there as well.
What are the rules for designing technology in an established universe? Because, Frank Herbert has his lore, and there's something of a bit of a style guide. You guys have your own. It's different from the movies. What's your litmus test for knowing something makes sense here versus something that just wouldn't fit in?
So we have one of the core design principles in Dune is make your design fit Dune and not Dune fit your design. So that applies for everything. So it's really important for us that the tone of the game is kept intact. That is crucial for us, to a tone of the IP and the universe.
What's the most unexpected player request? I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff in Dune. Is there anything that's just such a deep cut you were like, really?
I can't remember offhand, but there's been some weird stuff for sure. I mean, our players, they also know the lore pretty well, so they are digging in and suggesting things. I can only say that keep giving us feedback. We are processing it. It's really fun because we can pull on that, and we will introduce stuff based on player feedback for sure, as long as the design fits Dune.
Got it. Well, you guys have been really proactive about responding to the community. If you had to do launch day all over again, how would you do it differently? Because you clearly are making changes to fit what people want and address how people are playing the game. If you knew what you know now, what would you do differently?
It's a good question. It's so hard to look back like this and think like, okay, well, I think all in all, launch went fairly smoothly compared to like large survival, open world, MMO kind of games like this. It's always rough in the beginning. So I don't know if I wanted to do something different. There's some things that I wish we were more prepared or more ready for in terms of how people would cheat and exploit the game. But I feel like we reacted pretty quickly, and we were good in the communication, as you said. But obviously, all of the bugs that people found, I would have loved to known about them or were aware of them before.
Yeah, I mean, you get an additional layer of QA when something's actually out in the wild.
Yeah, of course,
So.
Multiple hundreds of thousands of players. It's more than our QA team, of course, yeah.
Well, moving forward, I guess, how do you kind of triage or prioritize the changes players want affected the most? Like, if people are trying to send a message about the things they want in the game, what's the best way to kind of organize and get that message across? Like, where are you looking for that feedback?
Everywhere. I can do mine if you want to talk about yours. But yeah, Reddit, Discord. We have our community team who's always interacting with the community, asking for feedback, discussing with them. And then they come back to us on the development side and work with us to make sure that we take that into account. And then also CS, like customer service, they get tickets, so that helps us form what is important to fix and focus on going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I can say that, for instance, we're the character customizers that we're adding in here in Chapter 2. The choices of what kind of new assets we're adding in for people to customize, that comes directly from our community managers interact with people on Discord, checking like, hey, what are the things you guys feel are missing when you're trying to make the kind of character that you want to have in Dune? So, go in, be active, talk to us. We're super excited to listen, and we really want to kind of bring in whatever you guys are feel is missing.
Nice. Now, you do have plans for console releases sometime next year. I guess, how do you gauge what a console audience would want if you don't have them playing it? Are you kind of channeling what the PC feedback has been into addressing that, or?
I mean, generally speaking, yes. Fundamentally, what people on console want is a great game, right? We already we're taking console into account when we're designing the UX for the game for PC, because you need to keep kind of thinking a bit ahead. If you make something that is PC first, it's going to be really difficult to move over to console. But if you think about the console from the start, it's fairly easy to adapt. So when it comes to the console, we're going to bring the same content that will be in the game, like by that time in PC, we'll be bringing over to the console, and it's really just work at the end of the day. So we've already got kind of first little tidbits of it working. I've seen some screenshots, many broken textures and whatnot, but it's moving ahead at a good pace. So
nice.
we're quite excited about it.
Well, I mean, hopefully I'm here talking to you next gamescom asking about that.
Hopefully.
Finally, people ask about this a lot. Tanks. They want tanks. What's the story with tanks? What's going on there? There were tanks in a trailer. They haven't shown up.
What I can say is we're looking to find the correct place for them to fit into the kind of the general meta. So we're evaluating kind of how all vehicles work, especially in the deep desert at the moment, and we're investigating like the best ways of making them fit in. So they will be coming. We just need them to feel really unique and like they're filling a purpose that the other vehicles aren't already filling.
Gotcha. Makes sense. So of all the new content, is there something you're personally really excited about that you want to kind of just nudge players to go check out?
I mean, for me personally, I think what we're doing with the main story is really exciting. We left off with a kind of very big reveal that was also simultaneously a cliffhanger. People who've been enjoying the story will get to finally delve into the answers to the questions that we left there. And over the next couple of chapters, we're going to go somewhere that is very fun. I'm super excited. I'm holding myself back from spoiling it, which is the bigger issue. But fans of the lore, you'll be introduced to some canon characters that you've been missing. So please come in, check it out. It's going to be great.
Nice. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk. This is great. Dune Awakening, it's out now. New content on the way. If you're one of those guys who's mad that you only got a few hundred hours worth of play out of it, chill, they're working on it. More Gamescom Studio coming up. Stick around.